Welcome to a Cat VR unboxing video. So this is the consumer treadmill that Cat VR offers to their customers. And today I'll be going through the unboxing, initial impressions, what I think of the build quality, how I found the product overall, etc, etc. This is the first time I'm doing a video like this, so please have some patience with me. I'll be eternally grateful. And if you have any questions, feel free to slap them in the comment section below and I'll do my best to answer them. So let's begin. So apologies first of all for the messiness of my room. I'm planning to move, but given the COVID situation, it's kind of been postponed a little bit. Thanks, Boris. You know, tier 4 doesn't really help us, but it is what it is. So first things first, I ordered this back in July 2020 through the Kickstarter campaign that they had. I think it came to about £1,200. So it was quite a hefty investment when you put it in terms of, you know, relative to other gaming accessories, you know, such as VR headsets or, you know, brand new PC builds, Xboxes, PlayStations. You know, with that type of investment, I could have bought a new PC. I could have probably bought a PS5 and an Xbox One. So, yeah, it was quite an investment and I'll have to see whether it was worth it. But before we get into that, let's get into the unboxing. So it actually got sent to my friend's house first of all. So that's why you see it kind of unboxed already. The reason was because I was planning to leave this house, so I didn't know if I was going to be here for when the product arrived. But overall, it was quite a big parcel. We actually had to open it up slightly and split it up when we were transporting it by car. So that kind of gives you some idea of how big the package was. It came to, I believe, about 80 to 90 kilos. So yeah, fairly heavy. So initially what you'll see is me opening up the box that has the two pairs of shoes. So we ordered a 44 US and a 43 US. One for my brother, one for myself. They actually only offer one pair of shoes, but you can pay a little bit extra to get two pairs. And it actually fits all within the container, so that was good. The shoes to begin with, they're like plimsolls almost, which I think is probably the best idea for when you're trying to develop a product for a treadmill like this. I don't think I would have designed it any differently if I thought about designing a pair myself. Sneakers wouldn't really work, boots aren't the best. I think plimsolls are a pretty good idea. The quality was good. It was comfortable putting it in, like wearing them. The strings that are used to tighten them, they could have been made of better quality because I did snap one of the plastic parts off, but it still allowed me to tighten it, so that was good. What you saw my brother unboxing was the belt that you put around your waist. Again, it was a solid component, fairly heavy. You could tell straight away that it was made out of some really good material. So that was pretty good. When you hear about Chinese products, people have this impression that they're cheap and poor quality, but Cat VR, you can really see, went out and beyond to make sure that their product had the best components, best quality, and they provided everything to A-star standard. They provided you anti-static gloves. They provided you with Allen key, screwdriver, the basic stuff you would expect to get. But even those, it's good. The instructions were fantastic. It was one of the things I was a bit more skeptical about because it being a Chinese product, I thought that the English might be poor. Maybe they'll just straight up use Google Translator, but the English was on point, as if someone, with an actual English degree or, speaking it natively wrote it themselves. So again, straight away, I didn't find any issue. The instructions were pretty clear. Looking at it, they had one for installing the software. One side was for installing the software, and the second side was for installing the whole treadmill. And again, they had it step-by-step procedure. I think it was like 1 to 16 steps, I think. And, they gave it with absolute detail, telling you, at one point they're like, rotate the screw 3 times and then you'll come back to tighten it later. And I was like, whoa, okay, fair enough. If that's how we're going to do it, that's how we're going to do it. I had this little motto that my friends used to pick on me for, which was like, if you're gonna do something, do it properly. And they always used to take the mick out of me by repeating it, but they've done it properly. That's one thing I can say for Cat VR. So you can see the base is at the bottom. We actually left it in the cardboard box because of the fact that we'll be packing it up in about a few months to move it over to our new house. But this was about, I would say 60 kilos in itself, because we had to move it from the car to the room. But again, it was pretty solid. You had some zip ties at the bottom, which you had to cut off to allow it to rotate. But besides that, everything was really, really good quality. I had no issues with it. So the first two parts you had to assemble were the bars. This was for the back support. Again, it was pretty straightforward. Each bar has two screws. Each bar has 4 screws at the bottom. So it fits in quite easily into the slot. You don't screw it on straight away. You actually pull out the backrest, which you then you pop into the bars. So the backrest was a bit funny. You'll see me looking at it side on a bit. I think I even try and show it to the camera as well. And basically what I found was that the plastic was slightly opened. So it's as if like it didn't close properly, which was quite interesting. But again, it's very nitpicky. You know, it's not that deep. It's not going to affect your experience whatsoever. So like I wouldn't really dwell on it for too long. So anyway, the backrest again fitted on top of the bars, pretty straightforward. It just slipped on. There was some issue with getting the screws to align, but eventually with some, removing, putting it back on, removing, putting it back on, it eventually went straight into the position that it needed to be, which was pretty good. And again, each side of the backrest required 2 screws, which was the next part of the assembly, the next step of the assembly, which again was pretty straightforward. They provided you the screws, they provided you the Allen key, and it was pretty straightforward to do. One thing that I did realize throughout the assembly of this treadmill is that you do require 2 people to assemble it, because at certain points you need to like lift up the backrest at a certain level to get the screws to align up properly, or you need to lift up the bars in the treadmill to get them to align properly. But overall, a fantastic product, fantastic build quality, fantastic instructions. Honestly, I like to try and find things where you can improve, but I have to be honest, there wasn't much to improve on. Of course, you're going to find yourself when building any type of product that there will be some very minor issues, moments where you'll need to wiggle it around a bit to get it to fit in properly. But overall, the build quality was really good. I think it took us about 30 minutes to get the whole treadmill assembled, and I took that straight from the entire recording of the video, so really it was about 25 to 20 minutes. So considering, this came all the way from China, how big the product is, how technical the product is, to have it built from, opening the box in 25 minutes or so, is pretty impressive. So I have to give big credit to Cat VR for building such a fantastic product in terms of build quality, but then also being able to allow the user to assemble it really quickly and it being very user friendly. So you can see after we've assembled the backrest, we are now assembling the belt. Again, it was pretty straightforward. You unscrew, I think 4 screws on the back of the belt, and then you slot it in to the mechanism. I guess the angle that I could have been doing this could have been a lot better, but then you screw the caps back on, and then the belt fits onto the mechanism pretty easily. Again, pretty straightforward. I think that's pretty much it. After that point, they tell you to go to the website, to the support section of the website, where they allow you to download the software, which is the Cat Gateway, which basically allows you to configure the sensors and connect the sensors up to the PC, and then connect the treadmill also up to the PC. Again, it was pretty straightforward. I also found the guide videos where they have an installation guide, everything you need to know from literally unpacking the parcel as it arrives to your house, and then all the way up until installing the software. And then they have the first use video guide. Again, Cat VR really went above and beyond in providing this product and then giving the user everything they need to be able to make it comfortable for them to assemble and then get started straight away. So the first use guide was pretty good. It basically tells you, this is how you slot on your sensors. This is the correct procedure when you're standing on your treadmill. Make sure you've got the anti-slips band on your shoe. This is how you close your belt. Very simple stuff that you would be able to understand and do yourself. But it was still nice that they provided a video for people that might not understand it too well. They also addressed that part of the side of the community as well. Then the second part of the first use video guide was actually being able to adjust the settings of your sensors in the game. So how sensitive you want it in terms of, if you step, how quickly do you want your user to move? If you want to use the special movements, you can toggle them on and off. Again, how sensitive do you want them to be? Like, how far do you want your foot to be before it triggers it, etc., etc. So again, overall, I'm pretty impressed with how CatVR approached this product. I haven't had the chance to really use it yet. I have had some initial experiences on Boneworks, but the settings were a bit off, which made the experience a bit naff. It wasn't the best of experiences, but I'm definitely looking to get back onto it. So if that's something you're interested in, make sure to subscribe, like. Please feel free to comment, ask any questions you have about the treadmill. I'll do my best to answer them. I will be getting Half-Life Alyx. I was actually waiting to get the treadmill and then do a walkthrough with using the treadmill only. So if that's something that you're interested in, make sure to hit the subscribe button. And let me know what else you want to see. I've got Pavlov, I've got Onward. I'm listing these games, but I'm basically going to get all of them and then try them all out with the treadmill. I do have Phasmophobia, which I'm going to be quite interested in knowing how that works. If you haven't played Phasmophobia before, it's basically a horror game where it's not a horror game. It's actually, I'd say, more of a thriller game where you're ghost hunting and you have to kind of identify the ghost, but it's pretty scary. And one thing I didn't like about the game was the fact that it felt so difficult to move around in when I was just using a standalone controller. So having the treadmill, it's going to be quite interesting, really pacing and trying to sprint away from the ghost. So I'm going to be looking forward to that. If you have any questions, please feel free to to ask them below. And I think that's the end of this video. So if you enjoyed watching, let me know what I can do better next time. And see you in the next video. Take care. Bye bye.